We can't wait for the new season of The 100. What will life after Earth mean for our favorite characters? And what will it mean for our ships? Check out the 10 couples we totally ship from the CW's hit show.
Sorry, lovebirds. No zero-G space sex.
Octavia and Lincoln. Linktavia fans, we've got you covered. Octavia Blake is one fierce woman. Even though she has a bad temper, she is one of our favorite characters. Octavia is brilliant. She is great at surviving. In fact, she was one of the first group members to start speaking the language of the Grounders. It's a lot easier to get along with other people if you speak the same language. She also united all the clans. But she can be pretty ruthless, and there was a coup. Thankfully, she had a change of heart in Season 5. She's not all bad. Lincoln is such a great guy, but the tough world he grew up in kept trying to make him a monster. His father forced him to end a man's life when he was just a boy. He was also forced to become a reaper at one point. He's quiet, but he is not afraid to question things. He has a strict moral code that he stands up for. Lincoln saved Octavia from her crash and tended her wounds. Later, he risked his own life several times to save her. He was such a good balance to her impulsiveness, and she helped him overcome his addiction to the Reaper drug. We were devastated when Lincoln sacrificed himself. You'll always be in our hearts, Linktavia. Monty and Jasper. Okay, we know that Monty and Harper are a great couple. They might even be our OTP. But hear us out. Monty and Jasper would have made an amazing couple. These two best friends have the ultimate bromance. It wouldn't take much to turn it into a romance. Monty and Jasper were imprisoned at the same time, and all they did was steal some herbs. Life on the Ark was awful. They were the perfect balance for each other. Monty was smart, like really smart. He was fiercely loyal, and he was also way more reserved than Jasper. Jasper sort of becomes the center of attention in the first season, and he falls in love with Maya. Jasper was bright and adventurous. Let's not forget how Monty watched over Jasper when he was sick. They always made up when they had fights. Jasper had a hard time recovering from Maya's death. In fact, he ended his own life in Season 4, but we think he would have been way happier with Monty. Monty had great survival skills. They could have lasted a lot longer than Maya and Jasper. We're glad Monty got a pretty happy ending, but don't you think he would have been happier with Jasper? Clarke and Lexa. Oh, Lexa. This ship seemed like a match made in, well, not heaven, more like post-apocalyptic Earth. These two women were definitely a power couple. They were both respected and feared leaders of their people. And when Clarke came to make an alliance with Lexa, the Lexa ship was born. They had instant chemistry. Clarke is extremely loyal and has a strong set of morals. In fact, these traits have often caused her to make bad decisions. She eventually becomes known as the Commander of Death. Lexa doesn't act as ruthless as Clarke. She's a lot more fair and logical, but she is very loyal to her people too. At first, Clarke wasn't ready for a relationship. We were devastated. We just wanted these two to end up together. But life on Earth was hard, and it wasn't meant to be. Lexa's death was heart-wrenching. If these two had been able to stay together, things would have turned out differently. They would be unstoppable. We can't wait to see what is next for Clarke. She's had a lot of loss. Bellamy and Clark. Clarke gets shipped with a lot of people, both in canon and outside of it. She definitely has had a handful of relationships on the show. Maybe it's just because she is such an awesome character. One ship that we wish would happen is Bellark. Who doesn't love a good enemies to friends lover story? They have the enemies to friends part down. Bellamy and Clarke have a lot in common. They are both protective of their loved ones, and they both have a softer side that comes out every now and then. At first, they didn't get along at all. Bellamy thought Clarke was totally privileged, but as they began to share leadership duties, they started to respect each other. They learned to trust each other, and it turned into an awesome friendship. Do you remember how awful it was when Bellamy had to leave Clarke on Earth? But she survived, and he was so glad. Now they are both in cryo sleep. They will wake up in a new location and start over. They have been through a lot together. Maybe they will finally realize how perfect they are for each other. It will only take 130 years.
Teaching you would take days, and knowing you probably still screwed up.
Jasper and Maya. There's nothing like a tragic romance. Jasper and Maya will go down as one of the saddest stories ever. They're basically Romeo and Juliet from the future. Maya was amazing. She was such a kind, gentle character. She really cared about helping others, and she was so smart. Maya was one of the mountain men and worked in the medical section. When she first meets Jasper, she instantly feels something for him. Who can blame her? She even gives him her piece of chocolate cake. They have such amazing chemistry and bring out the best in each other. Jasper saves Maya's life. Then Maya shows him the harvest chamber. Can you say scary? She doesn't want him to be next. We love all the scenes where they are together. That scene with the piano got us right in the feels. It was so sweet. It's obvious they care about each other. Sadly, Maya is exposed to too much radiation and doesn't survive past season 2. Don't mind us. We'll just pretend that Maya and Jasper survived and lived happily ever after together. That's what fanfic is for, right? Miller and Jackson. Even though this is a canon ship, we don't get to see too much of Miller and Jackson as a couple. Miller is an interesting character. We are so glad he becomes a more important character as the show goes on. Miller is a fighter. He's super tough. He's also very blunt, which we love. Miller was originally dating Brian. They knew each other back on the Ark, but Miller was thrown in jail for stealing and later sent to Earth. They were reunited in season 3, and Miller was such a great boyfriend, but they broke up. They disagreed about too much. We were kind of glad that they broke up because that made way for Jackson. Jackson is an awesome character. He's smart, tough, and a great leader. He's a good contrast to Miller. When we found out that they were dating at the beginning of season 5, we were stoked, but we hardly get to see them together at all. They are both going to be in season 6. We can't wait to see how their relationship develops in this new place. If you aren't much of a Miller and Jackson shipper, keep watching. There might be something else even better for Miller. Raven and Shaw. When we first meet Shaw, he doesn't seem like a good match for Raven at all. He is one of Diyoza's followers at first, but their relationship turned out to be one of the best parts of season 5. Shaw is a good guy. He's funny and kind of arrogant, but he tries to do what is right. He betrays Diyoza because he doesn't want to launch the missiles. He says that Raven is the one who hacked the codes. He loves how smart she is. He helps Raven escape from Diyoza. Later, she helps him escape. Raven is such a tough character. She's strong-willed and she's never afraid to break the rules. She also has mad computer skills. In fact, she and Shaw have similar skills. She's very independent and she needs a guy who can deal with that. Shaw is totally that guy. He respects her for her toughness and intelligence. At the end of season 5, Shaw is still asleep in the cryo chamber. He has no idea that 125 years have passed instead of 10. Will he and Raven be able to overcome this crazy time jump and a new life? We sure hope so. We want to see a lot more of their relationship in the new season. Raven and Clark. Raven and Clark are the two characters with the most romantic relationships in the 100, and they are very similar. They are both fierce AF. They aren't afraid to break rules to get what they want or do what needs to be done, and they are both really intelligent. This non-canon ship is one of the most popular. These two seem to be made for each other. Plus, it's obvious from the beginning of this series that Clark is totally into Raven. She gets upset when she finds out that Raven and Fenn were dating, but is it because she liked Fenn, or was she disappointed that Raven was taken? They overcome the whole Fenn drama and become friends. Later, she tells Raven that she would pick her. That's not just something you say to a friend. These two alpha females work together very well. They don't need Fenn, they take care of each other, and the chemistry is totally there. They would be such a power couple. We wonder what their relationship will be like in season 6. Kane and Abby. It's not just the young characters that make awesome couples. Abby is Clark's mom. She is one fierce woman. She speaks her mind and does what she thinks is right. She is the one who convinces Marcus that just because something is legal doesn't make it right. They disagree a lot, but that just makes them stronger. Abby totally falls for him. Marcus is the one who helps her get over her deceased husband. It's so romantic. Marcus even takes the chip in season 3 just to save her. Abby and Marcus are both noble, but they love each other more than anything. He believes in her humanity when she has to make terrible decisions in space. Abby gets a brain injury and she refuses treatment. She doesn't believe she is worthy of survival because of the decisions she has made. She begs Kane to let her die, but he refuses. He gasses her and keeps her inside the bunker. He apologizes, but he just couldn't bear to be without her. We think Abby would make the same decision about Kane. They see the best in each other even when they can't see it in themselves. We hope that their relationship can survive 125 years of cryo sleep. Monty and Miller. There are so many great ships in the 100, and there are even more ships that we wish would happen. One of our favorite non-canon ships is Minty. That's right, Monty and Miller. Somehow Miller ends up with Jackson, but they barely have any interaction. But Monty and Miller are seen together a lot, and they have serious chemistry. These two men become close friends when they try to escape Mount Weather. Monty compliments Miller when he is feeling down, telling him he is a great thief. He actually succeeds in making Miller laugh. And who can forget that card game scene? We were digging the bromance. There are not a ton of reasons to smile in the 100. Life is pretty grim, but they always make each other grin. You can see it in season 3 when they are listening to Jasper's music. Their friendship becomes strained when they are on opposite sides. But at least Monty didn't bug Miller like Brian did. Monty would definitely be a better boyfriend than Brian. We really missed their relationship as the show went on. And if they aren't your OTP, they are definitely our bro TP. We love these two guys. We're bummed that we won't see any more Monty in season 6. Who is your The 100 OTP? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Click that subscribe button for more awesome videos from The Things. See you next time.